Well, homelessness is no fun. I'm 77 years old and don't have a home. I lived in Mans Harbor with my son, and our house burned down. I lost everything. This is where I slept for a year, on this blanket. This blanket. For room at the inn, this was my home. This was a hard time in my life here.
Mom and Dad didn't have a house for us for almost like 2 years of my life, and they were also like doing meth and stuff. It was the most horrible thing growing up. I was in group home after facility, after PRTF, after mental hospital. It just kept going on and on like that for almost 4.5 years.
I got sick physically and mentally, ended up missing a lot of work, having to leave early or go in late, and eventually was let go from my job. And then, of course, I couldn't pay rent, so my landlord had to ask me to leave.
I was struggling. My wife had passed about, it'll be 4 years in Thanksgiving. I kind of like went into a little bit of depression. I've never had to ask anybody for nothing in my life. It was real humbling.
Here in the Outer Banks, it's just a tough situation for housing. Our guests are not able to find housing in the way that they need to. They can't afford it. They don't have the deposit. When they go to apply for an application, it's $50 every application they put in. And then they want the first month's rent and the last month's rent. And they normally want a deposit as well. And these folks are just living on the very edge all the time. Our mission is to feed, clothe, and shelter people year-round. Unfortunately, we currently are only a 6-month shelter. We open in November, close at the end of April, but our intake center is open year-round, where we can provide clothing and food. Almost everyone has a job. Some have 2. I even have one that has 3 positions, 3 jobs. And they're just trying to save up enough so that they can make their car payment and their insurance payment and pay their tags. So it's a process for them, and nearly impossible here on the Outer Banks for them to move forward and continue with their job, because once you don't have a place to sleep, no place to cook your food, keep your clothes clean, you're not going to be able to keep your job very long. We're able to rent a facility that is used for J1 students during the summer months, which is kind of in a dorm situation. It's not ideal for a shelter, but it works very well. We can make it work. When they come in November, it takes us about a month and a half to get them in a position where they can even apply for jobs. Many don't have their birth certificates, their social security cards, driver's license, any of that kind of ID. A lot of them are ill. We have one gentleman that is severely plagued with COPD, and now we just found out he's diabetic as well. He's been in and out of the hospital numerous times. It's a lot of helping them get to a stable situation where they can go get a job and be reliable to show up for their job. They have to understand what it takes for their transportation. They have no transportation. It's very hard for them to find jobs that they can get to easily and readily, and understand they have to be responsible for certain things. So it's a whole growth process.
I want people to understand not everybody is an alcoholic or drug addict. A lot of us live paycheck to paycheck, and it could just happen to anybody. Just one one bad thing, and you could be in the same position.
They brought me in, they let me get on my feet. I saved some money, I got some work. And for a while there, I felt hopeless. I didn't think it was things were going to take and work out. But I'm very, very grateful and very humbled.
I want to go back to school and get my GED. Then I actually do want to go to the community college up here and get into the program that they just put up for like automobile and the mechanic stuff,
OBX Room at the Inn is the best thing that ever happened to me. They've given me purpose. And they've helped me more than anyone ever has.
If the churches and the businesses didn't support us, there's no way we would survive. We couldn't do it.
Room in the Inn provides me shelter, food, clothing, and friendship.
They gave me rules, which I was not really used to, but they were for a reason. They gave me stability. I needed them rules. I needed the stability they gave me. And I'm in a total different place than when I first came here.
I'm looking for myself a room to rent right now, so that's going to be tough. So that's what I'm doing, is looking for a room right now.
We keep our intake center for several reasons. This is where we have clothing and we have canned goods with pop tops that we can give to folks, and it gives us a central location on the beach. And wherever we can find housing in the future, every year it's a question. We have to sign a new contract. We'll still have one centrally located location where they all know where they can all come.
I know some of my friends here are unable to work or unable to work full-time. They're not going to be able to find stable housing. So I think they're going to probably be on the street for the summer until they open again. And you know, some are older or elderly or have physical problems, and that's just not right.
The end of April is, and we're approaching it, is probably the hardest time of the year. The first year that I did this, it about broke me. Turning out people, and they're saying, where, what am I supposed to do? Where am I going to go? And I have no answer. We do everything we can to get them rehoused. So here's the dream. This is the spot. We really want to build a year-round, full-time shelter right here that we can take not only men and women over 18, but that we can take families with children and that we can do transitional housing. I want to leave you with one thought. No matter if it's Room in the Inn or whatever nonprofit of your choice, I challenge you to live generously and to give generously to those in need.